really weird.
You did warn me.
We were talking about the what was it? The moist towelettes. Moist towelettes before we started this. How do players remain fresh and focused going into a round of PUBG? Moist towelettes are handed out on the plane on the way through, and well, I'm already feeling very happy with a smile on my face. That is one hell of a Southwest circle.
Yeah, I was going to say, contrary to you, some of these teams not feeling as happy, Toby. Certainly our teams all the way up there to the northeast. We saw Ghost drop out at the very end of the plane and possibly going to be feeling the hurt now based off the rotation they're going to have to make.
Yeah, they're kind of in the middle of nowhere and have to go through absolutely everyone, but this is going to be beautiful for FaZe. Optic are already in a great position. They actually did a 3-1 split drop, so they got a lot of space to work with, but FaZe can control the northern side of this circle, but they still look like they want to go a little bit further up north.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, this split is not something that we're used to seeing. I mean, Valiate is worlds away from his other 3 members down there in the Valle del Mar area, but right here we've got FaZe. They were our victors from Season 1, going to be trying to make a repeat of that here in Season 2. Yeah,
they couldn't have asked for a better start, but of course, you heard the panel talking about it, the champions of the group stage, MVP, who are already going to actually say hello to Texas very early on. As I say that, Rafi, oh, well, Long didn't survive that long.
No, tough,
sorry, the pun was just way too obvious.
Yeah, tough go for them. The first blood of our first game of the finals tournament going to be popping off right here. Looking around though, OGN going to be Entis going to be moving up a little bit close to Vitality, looting over here in this compound, just on the Minas Generales area. It's certainly an interesting area. We've seen fights play out here in different ways, but Mir's going to be peeking around this corner, just trying to get some information from his team, certainly spread off from the rest of them.
Yeah, he'll just have to wait it out. Like personally, it's just sad there's only 3 angry men left on the field at the moment. It is pretty well crowded down in Los Lagunas too. You've got M19 and 4AM down there. Method of passing through. Liquid have a nice little chokehold over on Picardo. They'll be very, very looted up by the time anyone gets anywhere near them. Even seeing an M24 over on this empty. So hey, pop the shots on the roaming targets and don't let anybody get easily into that circle and closer towards Chewy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Toby.
Oh yeah, I apologize as well for any crappy names that I used during this.
Oh, no apologies necessary. not on this stream. Not on this stream.
On this stream? Oh yeah, on this stream we can do whatever the hell we want to. We're gonna have fun with this, right?
Oh goodness. But we were kind of watching some of these teams scrim together, and the drop areas were sort of contested yesterday, but now they've sort of been able to find their places. No one really going to drop on top of one another, but certainly some teams going to be having some rotation paths that we'll be crossing, specifically on the eastern side of things. Avangard, though, going to be looking pretty good here in the Chumacera area for the time being.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really got a circle which was this hard. Like most of the city centers, it's around the middle, is pushing out towards the east. And we had a circle during the scrim, which was actually around Paraiso, and pushing down that side. There were more avenues to come in, but it's very hilly, very rocky, and difficult to just find that nice centered place inside the circle. That's what the teams will be worrying about in a little bit. The circle will come in just a second, but you've got time. You've got a lot of time to loot and then to find the right place. So there it is, 2 minutes we have. Okay, goodbye X-Chris as well, 4 AM. Get something back out of this.
Yeah, I guess a little bit of a trade coming back. Forever able to rack up that kill, at least takedown Method to 3 players remaining, but that might be changing here very quickly as we do have Mole Man from Method going to be pushing up on this church compound where it looks like Diaz from Avangard has also opted to sort of take a route, a loot location in. He's got the Scar, he's got the 3 times, so certainly has the firepower to put some hurt on a Mole Man if he ends up spotting him.
Mole Man hurt him too. Like he's just waiting in the corner. There's a lot of glass shatter. That sound travels for a long way, so Mole Man wants to go for the jump scare.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, Molman just has to lock it down. He has none of his teammates around to provide him that support, and here comes Diaz.
3,
He's going to be rolling into the church right now.
2, 3, 4. Okay, we're playing hot and cold game now. I got hotter, warmer, colder. Where is Diaz going? He's running outside to go. Okay, he's just leaving. Maybe he knew. No, he didn't know Mole Man was in there. He would not have been looting in the manner he was looting if he knew Mole Man was there.
Yeah, just a lucky loot path, I guess, opting to not loot the rest of that church and just got out of dodge. Probably didn't find anything because Mole Man had previously already gotten all the loot.
How many times have you come in there? Yeah, maybe there was a small trace. We were watching it from the high cam. But movement already coming in pretty early. So Team Liquid trying to establish a good position. They're around near Avangar, and actually Abita gets out of the car. If Mumino and King can be a little bit, actually a little bit down the hill, they may not have the line of sight for it, but the rest of Liquid coming in, a grenade or two, and this will actually put Liquid in a horrendous position. In fact, James, this is not a good way to start, just ran over his teammate Abita, and Mumino puts him straight down. This is the punishment. Be careful of vehicles. They're a dangerous, dangerous bullet. Into the car you go, into the front seat, the taps onto Skoom. One more will do it, and one more. Mumino, no, he won't get it. Skoom gets behind the shuttle, the shack, as James spins out for the style points, but he is in the middle of nowhere. He's got no other choice but to continue to drive.
Yeah, I mean, Liquid in just an incredibly tough spot. We've seen cars, they're able to take out those casualties sometimes here in the PUBG scene, but we do not want that to happen, especially when Avangar from the CIS is pushing right over the hill on top of you. Skoom somehow able to get behind the shack with those shots coming down, is going to be trying to retreat on foot to try to reunite with his other teammates, but certainly not the start that Liquid was hoping for.
No, this is not the dream for them. Skoom as well, still not out of trouble. Pinned down by Avangar, and he's got no real way to go. Can't really turn around to fight. Just has to wait for the circle to come in. He can do that. At least they're inside the circle, but there's a lot of teams condensing onto this position. Knights are coming down over the hill. You've already got FaZe on top of the hill, so it's a real sandwich position of Liquid. Yeah,
I mean, they're so incredibly split, and with all of the teams, like you said, going to be coming in right now, it's just going to put even more of a wrench in their plans. Skoom going to be spotted out once again by Mumino. Avangar just continuing to rain down Hellfire on top of Liquid, and you can only imagine what they're trying to work with.
Oh, Mumino just... He had 3 bullets left, and all 3 of them needed to go flying somewhere near Skoom. But Skoom into relative safety for the moment, and Avangar's going to move off now. But as we see the Knights, they're the ones who are taking fire from the western side. That's FaZe lighting them up. Texas getting clipped a little bit, but they'll reach the compound quite safely. But Liquid do have a nice high ground position over the top of them.
Yeah, exactly. We're seeing more and more teams now start to make that rotation as the blue zone will be shrinking in on our first circle. Almost 8 minutes here into game number 1, but now Skoom opting to get some engagement into this as well.
Sure. Well, this is that high ground position we're talking about. Skoom was able to get a kill onto Dragon. Actually, it will be Dragon going all the way down. Knights are having real problems. Texas as well. This is not what they want to have happen. This is another little battle going over on the eastern side. Ghost trying to slip past Vitality.
Yeah, Allergen, one of their newer players on the Ghost, he's going to be filling in as their 4th, at least for this tournament. He's their scout as well, Toby, so he's going to be the one that they're always sending out, and by virtue of that, he's the one who's always going to be taking the shots as well.
They just do that always. It's the new guy. Okay, you're the one that runs in there. Cop a couple of bullets and hope you survive. Let's have a quick look at this once again. So Skoom from down the hill through the trees. Pretty decent shot, probably 150, 200 meters, that one.
Yeah, not a bad shot at all. Didn't expect Liquid to actually engage that fast after that kind of chaotic engagement that they had with Avangar, but we can see Avangar able to reunite as the 4-man strong team. Going to be taking some wide shots across the valley at some of the members of Liquid once again.
Yeah, I love the traces we've had for a while now. Like, remember, just aim up a little bit more, and you'll find the right target. But FaZe, they've managed to establish themselves quite nicely. WTSG also with a great movement. They came all the way through the northern side of the circle, and they owned the western ridgeline.
Yeah, Cloud9 as well, moving right behind them, just going to be holding a position to the northeast of that. We can see Cloud9, they came off the Hong Kong event with a dominating first-place finish in that tournament, so very excited to see how they're going to be able to transition that with their new roster here in Kiev.
Oh, FaZe and Liquid, 2 teams that really didn't want to have to be this close this early on. Jempty and Mixie moving up the hill. There's James, who's kind of all out here by his lonesome.
3 of our EU teams kind of forming a triangle at this point in time, and I have to guess that when these shots start to come out, Knight's already taking some casualties. It's just going to erupt into an all-out battle fight.
It does feel a little unwilling that Liquid are in this kind of position, though. They started their rotation, then just got split up on the way through. Eventually, they shall be reunited with their family. Gustav copying a couple of shots. That's Welcome to South George getting involved, seeing FaZe's movements.
Our other EU team going to be joining in for this. So why 3 when you excuse me, when you can have 4, right?
Sure.
You know.
Yeah. This is the American supersize me moment, right?
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. McDonald's supersize it, and here it comes. Welcome to South George. Vard and the rest of the crew going to be trying to make their way in. Certainly, they're hearing all of these shots. They're seeing some of the movement happening around the map, but they need to be careful here up on this hill. They've got the good elevated advantage to work with, but with so many teams going to be crashing in now, specifically right now, when the blue zone is almost done with that first transition. They're going to have to keep their eyes open, watch those angles.
Yeah, but they want to still come down. They did, I believe, see the drop land down, so that's what Vard is already moving over for. Let everyone else play it. They can play the range game and just hold the western side, and the east will start to condense. You've got Ghost, you've got Genji, all moving in from the eastern side too. Yeah,
and then up to the north, we also have a few teams starting to make those late rotations in, and it's going to be MVP right next to Tempo Storm, two very dominant teams, especially here in this tournament. We saw what MVP was able to do in our qualifying stage, and if you're one of those teams that got the invite to the finals, you got to be worried about those guys.
Yep. Well, as long as they can get in unscathed with the circle pressuring in, both Tempo Storm and MVP may find themselves battling around Monty. In fact, I'm seeing Tempo Storm actually dismounting from their vehicles. But this cannot last much longer.
Yeah, it certainly can't. The circle is about to close, so our second circle will be popping here. It's going to be giving a lot of information to these teams as to where their next locations, where their next rotations are going to be taking them.
I feel that it's middle. I didn't even get a chance to let my feelings go. Cut off mid-session. I got pulled off the couch. Everyone else is taking a very long time. MVP will move WTSG. They're going to come inside. Interesting just how much you want to center now. Method, M19, Vanguard are probably in the best positions for this new zone.
Yeah, really. It is a favorable position for them to be in. They opted to get in there early on, and it's really going to be paying off, at least for the time being. Rotation's going to be coming out, though, recognizing the fact that this circle is going to be absolutely crowded, given that the southern part of this circle is likely going to shift out of play as we continue on.
Oh, poor Liquid. Why do they always have to drive through the middle of absolutely everybody? A Vanguard want to have a crack at that Scum you see on your screen, trying to slip through, but thanks to actually a Vanguard getting shot from Team Liquid on the west, on the eastern hill. Sorry, on the western hill, there's only one player. They get through. Moody won't be so lucky. Vard opens up.
Yeah, Cloud9 taking some casualties in this transition, specifically from Welcome to South Georgia as well as Optic. We saw that Nerf was dropped almost immediately. Moody going to be taking a lot of damage as well. These guys just have to try to get safely down south. This is not the time of the game when you want to be going out, when you want to be losing these casualties.
Nerf actually got removed. He actually got totally gunned down, so Optic able to claim 1 kill so far. Everything counts, 7 points per kill.
That's right, yeah. With how close the scores were in our qualifiers, we certainly know that 7 points per kill can mean a whole difference.
Is that actually Scum on the other side of the hill? He's down. He's down the hill. That looks a little too close, but the mini-map reveals all.
Yes, it does.
Samty who wants to run away, not wanting to get involved in that optic fight.
Certainly not. Entis going to be positioning themselves right here, still 4 men strong. They have Christus and Yak going to be pushing out a little bit further than them, trying to get some more information for their two trailing players, Xiangjang and Mira.
Yeah, it's the slow play. No need to really risk yourself just yet. Everyone's kind of trading off the early kills, but you need to have great fire superiority. As I see SLRs, I see K98s, SKSs, it's just everything which Tempo Storm can just play from range. And they could just do it slowly too. Entis is the only one who's really going to contest them for the northern side of the circle.
Yeah, Tempo Storm just going to have to be able to walk in from that northern position. Vitality over here on this church going to be trying to look, and the kill feed is absolutely lighting up. We saw FaZe in it, but really a Nuktiv going to be taking out one of his members from a Vanguard Keen, so the vehicle is going to be claiming some casualties here in game number 1.
Yeah, luckily there's no one to instantly try and capitalize on Keen's mistake, but Fuzzface needs a pickup, and they are sending the support Mixie bike riding over to reach his friend who was alone on the hilltop compound.
Yeah, they're going to be safe for the time being, but as things progress, 14 minutes here in game number 1, they're going to have to start worrying about where these third parties' engagements are going to be coming from. Certainly Welcome to South Georgia was posturing themselves on top of that hill, trying to spot out any of the members around them, but Moody trying to make his own transition back up the way that they just came.
Okay, he's dug himself a hole. James is already feeling it. You could see the grenade come up so early on. I was like, well, okay, Moody, if you want to come in close, that car's really, really on fire already. The grenade will drop it down lower, and Moody is just getting the hell out. He's already caught fire from, I think, 3 different squads to get to this position.
Yeah, he's incredibly separated off to the east from the rest of his team. Certainly we saw Nerf drop down early, so just came on and Stab off to the west, going to be holding their position, trying to see what they can do.
Here's that northern fight, so Tempo Storm. Entis tried to get through. They already lost 1, and they cannot afford to lose any more. Tempo Storm are very securely on that northern compound, but that won't stop Entis from taking the building across the road from them. Mira has already moved over. But that's why Tempo Storm, they flank out, they get a nice wider angle so they can see if they can get a position to shoot into Yak.
Yeah, these teams were sort of taking the same rotation path. Oh, actually, Liquid going to be rotating out, sitting James on a flank play, trying to spot out Moody right now.
Yeah, they can't leave Moody to be there, but then again, it's Bahawaka who's able to get the shot in. Came up to say hello, so Team Liquid expending a lot of grenades to try and find this kill, but it's just the rogue Optic player who chalk up the second kill for Optic.
Yeah, if there's anything we know about Optic, that is their bread and butter. That's where they like to land, so they're going to be protecting it accordingly. Zampa, though, able to find or actually connected on with the AKM5 Yak. So OG and Entis, they continue to just ride along the eastern side of Tempo as they make their way south.
Yeah, that was that flank attempt. Entis wanted to ensure that Tempo Storm was not able to get around them, so at least they got a knockdown, but Tempo Storm, they cannot clean up the mess that is on the northern side. The circle is about to finish its encroachment, and then we'll get the new one. We'll see who really has to move hard. Most of the circle is pretty well populated apart from the southwest. Everything is very well centered for all teams, so no one's going to be massively pressured just yet.
Yeah, that's exactly right. With this third circle coming out, going to be shifting us up to the northeast of our previous position, pretty much for the most part. So yeah, these guys are going to be feeling good. No real rotations have to come out. A lot of the teams already finding themselves inside of the circle, possibly having to walk a few meters, a few kilometers.
Yeah, a few meters. Like it looks like a centimeter on my map, but that's actually a lot further than you think. But this will mean Tempo Storm actually has to move into Entis. Knights are coming over as well. They're going to try and drive out of their compound. They actually had this great, nice position over the top of both the squads, but they decide not to wait for it. Coming down the hill, maybe Entis are able to connect. There's not a lot of armor when you're on that bike, but Voxer can still make it over.
Yeah, and the question is, with Entis taking all of those shots, did that give Tempo Storm maybe the indication that that was their opportunity to rotate out of that northern position and skate by without taking too much damage in the process? FaZe still positioning themselves on top of this hill. We can see they got Gustav QQ going to be subbing in for their previous fourth member, Haxede.
Oh, Knights, occupied, occupied, occupied. Don't walk in, it smells. They are locked in position. So Avanga able to have that nice floater on the hill.
Yeah, it's been incredibly tough for teams trying to crash in late. Pretty much every building that has been crashed on in the mid to late game has been occupied, and teams are really feeling the brunt of that as soon as they roll up, almost immediately getting squad wiped.
Yeah, and just like the nice split with this 3-1 from Avanga. They can see everything coming in. Meanwhile, we go on board with Welcome to South George. Optic, they've bounced out a couple of times, but WTSG, they want to be able to control the hillside. They know Optic exactly where they are. That's why this grenade pops on down a little bit short. Hypoc separated from his teammate, but Larson loves to be this nice quick pusher, trying to find the angle, opens up, one bullet into the back of Hypoc, cannot get a second, however, gets shot up, and it's actually Liquid getting involved, and this is not what Larson was expecting. Not only is he knocked, he's brought down by Jeems.
Yeah, certainly Optic might be getting a bill from Liquid for that bodyguard service that they just received, but this might be giving Optic actually the opportunity to push into Welcome to South George, which would create such an ultimate pinch position for them to try to work their way out of. Miracle going to be taking a lot of damage in return from Liquid as well.
Moleman, he actually had the line. This isn't even from Liquid. Method's getting involved in the engagement. On the side of these hills in Miramar, it feels like suicide. No wonder the teams love to just do the drive up to the compound. You take the risk, it's already occupied, but damn, you need some cover. There's not a lot of defilade to really hide in here, as Rafi's also looking for his targets.
Yeah, Method actually being fairly consistent in the kill feed so far in this game, and we're about to reach that critical point on Miramar where all of the action starts to erupt. The third-party engagements will be coming out extremely strong as we approach this 20-minute mark.
Yeah, as that circle also brings everybody together. Finally, maybe Genji as well as Ghost are going to get involved in this game. They've just been out there on the southeast doing absolutely nothing the entire time, apart from just, well, collecting loot that's going to drop for them. That'll be nice. Maybe doesn't want to, as we see Rafi, those traces flying down towards him. MK14. Yeah, all right, you'll take it if you want it.
Yeah, but the main prize is going to be that level 3 helmet, level 3 vest. Certainly that gives you so much more of an advantage when you walk into these engagements. We talked about it with Toffees last night. I mean, Toffees really loves the level 3 vest. He talks about how it's it can almost give you a second chance in engagements. Yeah,
as opposed to just the level 2s. It was a great change ever since they only started putting them in the loot drops. But the circle is almost finished condensing. Everyone is pretty much in. Just a couple of floaters. I'm mainly looking at you, Loki, who has to come in from the south corner. But everything else is pretty well set. Avangar, they're still split up. Diaz is their roamer, as you can see the map at the moment. So Avangar in probably the most central compound, if we don't include the Method one as well.
Fourth circle going to be approaching right now, and where will it be taking us? Up to the northeast yet once again. That's been the theme of these circle shifts here in game number 1, and Avangar going to be in a dominant position if they reunite as 4 to hold off the pushes coming from the southwest.
Man, how hard can you really push this? Like, you look at Welcome to South George, MVP and FaZe having to push in from the western side. It's down a huge gully, and if they do it, they'll come into Entis' line of fire. Same with Avangar. Liquid already want to move up, but the only place they could really move into is already occupied.
Var going to be rolling up on this hill where FaZe has been previously holding. Mixie taking so much damage from across the way. Going to be dropped down to about 40% HP. Just continuing to retreat. Baja Waka going to be taken down from our other North American team, Cloud9's K-Mind.
Yeah, they're kind of in a horrible position. FaZe, I think they still want to come down, but with Welcome to South George looking around the back, FaZe, no, they can't just freely move. Fuzzface shows his head for half a second. Does not want to show off much longer because that's the AWP of Gaxi looking for the target. Optic is still cleaning up the rest of Cloud9. As Stab is knocked down, whoop, Gaxi copping a bullet from the side. Stab trying to move into cover, but that will not happen.
Yeah, Valier going to be able to spot him and take him down and out with that M416. Gaxi going to be rotating off of this hill, though, trying to avoid the shots that he was previously taking from FaZe and across the way from Avangar, but he's going to be rolling around with Vard directly into Liquid if they continue on to the east.
Yep.
Ghost, though, presenting themselves as a direct threat on the southern side of this next circle.
Here comes Genji with their roll, and they're not inside just yet, but MVP right underneath WTSG, and that's not going to be their only problem. They've got a lot more on the way, because if they keep on driving, they'll go into Liquid, so they have to seemingly pull up, but they know they have to go further forward, or else they'll never get inside the circle. MVP with 2 knocked, Vard comes in for 1 finish, and he'll look for the second as well.
Youngtan going to be dropped almost immediately, Pang following suit as Welcome to South George just continues to try to hold this hill as 2 members strong. We saw them lose 2 very early on. So for what they've been able to do, given their position in this circle, it's actually pretty good, but they have a long way ahead of them to make it up to the northeast, inside of the safety of zone number 4.
Genji, you can see them down there as well. They're not totally inside the circle, so M19 was looking for an angle if they could possibly find to knock them off, but Avanga, Diaz... Oh, this is the advantage of having this third floater. That's a very long grenade. It won't connect. Now MVP, Siege is the last remaining player rotating up. Are they going to be the first team eliminated? Vard is going a long way around, and yep, there it is. Siege will be dropped, so MVP goes out in 16th position.
Our strongest team from the qualifier is actually going to be dropped out. I mean, this is not what we expected. This is not what MVP expected. So we're going to see some shifts coming out from them in games 2 through 5.
Looks like Gaxi couldn't do that full run. I said he was driving around, but he gets knocked out by the circle. And Cloud9 as well. K-Mind will be the final one to drop for him. So 15th position for C9. FaZe still very... Well, they're happy with the position they've been able to claim. With the Vanguard being distracted so much up on the hillside, especially now they've actually totally lost Keen, FaZe were able to secure that north or that western side of the circle.
Absolutely. Genji able to rotate over to the western side of Ghost, but they're going to be squaring off right now. We can see Turtle with the M16 trying to pop off at Chelator, but he needs to retreat back down this hill because certainly the other 3 members of Genji are going to be looking his direction, and they've got some powerful guns in their arsenal.
That is optimistic to say the least. He'll get off the bike, but Samty puts him down. There goes Optic. 1 knocked outside the circle, the other one just coming into the waiting arms of Liquid, who could at least put their heads up for a second. So 4 AM as well as a Vanguard stopped shooting at them so they could find the kill.
Yep, Liquid 3 men strong. We saw them lose a Biza early on in that bit of a car chaos when Vanguard was popping off shots. But 4 AM now going to be engaging directly on top of Avangard, who previously held a dominant hold on this circle.
This is perfect for Liquid. That actually got some opportunities to push in further while we're looking at the battle between Genji as well as Ghost. The never-ending struggle to stay inside the zone. That first aid kit's going to be close. I don't know if it's just going to be enough. Barely! On 5% now, runs over the hill. Simpson wants to get involved. Loki, drop, Turtle, doing the work. And he's going to get 1. Cannot get the second, however. Ghost eliminated out. Genji will have a little bit of time to pick themselves up and then run back in, but not a lot of time.
Fuzzface going to be rolling on top of this little bit of hill, trying to find a Nuctive, but it's going to be a Nuctive finding Fuzzface first with the M416. Welcome to South George going to be eliminated as well as Vard goes down to the blue zone.
This has just been such a hard pinch. The rest of FaZe are coming over. Anuctive needs to go down. Fuzzface is in front of him. M19 doing their own run at the moment. But 4 AM have a great line of fire over towards them. But back towards the FaZe battle. Anuctive will finally be brought down. Fuzzface did go all the way out. So they'll be down to 3 players for FaZe. And the circle, it's already going to push us once again. 5 seconds before we start to constrict.
Yeah, Nuctive able to do actually quite a bit of work to FaZe right there. He got a knock on the Mixie right before he went down himself. So certainly FaZe is going to be losing a bit in terms of attrition as they make their way into this one of their mid to final game circles. But it's really 4 AM. CPT going to be spotting out these members of Genji. Loki going to be going down. Simson going to be going down as well. And with the blue zone pushing on their back, Toby, I'm sort of fearful as to whether or not they're even going to be able to recover off of this.
There is no fear. It is a certainty. Chelator can go absolutely nowhere. He's got 1 tree for cover before AM. They are moving around the ridgeline, and this is also their natural progression anyway. They just want to run into the circle, and Chelator brought down by CPT, and that is Genji out in 11th.
You know, you want to think these are such strong teams going out early, but when you look at the entirety of the roster, the lineups here for our finals, every team in here is a competitor. These guys are going to be putting it all on the line to try to advance themselves into these top positions to try to take home one of our grand prizes.
James and Samty separated up. James kind of like broke his vape, and now the smoke's gone everywhere. All he can do is just hide and hope the FaZe don't find him. Mole Man brought down as well. 4 a.m. They are just in a great position, finding all lines of fire in every single team.
Specifically on the method, I mean, I feel like these guys have magnets in their pockets because they met in the early game, they took one another out, they had trades left and right, and now they've reunited once again.
Well, finally, James is found by Gustav. This leaves only one Team Liquid player left really standing. This is crawling. I don't consider this standing.
Yeah, definitely crawling, and that's all you can do at this point in time. Mixie's grenade going to be following it up, taking out James here, and 10 teams remaining, 23 players alive. FaZe just going to continue to push up this hill, but they need to worry about 4 a.m. directly to the north, as well as Method is going to be rotating off to the west.
You actually see that 4 a.m. position. They're in a semi-valley with no, actually, I say no one behind them on the hills. That's empty running down the back behind 4 a.m. He's not a healthy man. If he had a little bit more meds, he might be a little bit happier about this position. And, well, I don't want to jinx you, Samty. And hopefully they won't see you for the moment. But 4 a.m. are moving very much to his position. That's a very long run to the north now where our circle will shift.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have had no rest whatsoever. The circle shifted south for the original circle, but ever since then, north, north, north.
Does he see? They both ran up. If they actually knew that M19 were there, they probably would not be continuing this run.
Yeah, they're in a beautiful position, Atesy and Raffy, to have looked right down on M19, but continuing to wrap around here. They might be finding one of the other members of Avangard. Diaz just trying to hide along these cliffs, trying to sit in that prone position, just avoiding everything for the time being, trying to advance his team further.
Caves are scary places. They're hoping no one looks down. But Method, control of that hill is very difficult to take. They don't have a lot of cover. They have to bounce around the rocks. But if Method aren't careful, both FaZe as well as M19 are going to pincer them really hard. Samty, looks like 4 a.m. are going to finally leave him. He's on the southern edge of the circle, and he has got a very, 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 very long way to run.
Yeah, and a lot of dominant threats going to be looking his direction, trying to gatekeep any stragglers from the south. But meanwhile, Method still on this hill, going to be spotting out the members of FaZe, rotating up the cliffs. And the grenade's going to be coming out. The pressure is being applied, and Voxic from Knights actually going to be sliding in as well. So we might see some third-party action, some cheeky plays coming out from the solo player of Knights.
Yeah, he's that rogue player in the back. Unfortunately for him, he can't really engage. The only thing he can really do is just try and move in on the circle. If you can get a finish off, that would be a nice way to do it, but there's just too many players from the remaining teams around him that could just knock him off.
Yeah, at this point in time, FaZe is just going to be...
Speaking of that.
Yep, there it is. Mixie, he heard you, Toby, and immediately going to be capitalizing on that. But that's going to give Entis Mirrors the opportunity to connect on a Gustav QQ. We mentioned it. He's the newer player to FaZe, filling in for Haxede after the Hong Kong tournament. But back here, Vitality on the eastern side of things, trying to hold a dominant 2-2 split on the eastern and southern part of the circle. But 4 a.m. is aggressively pushing.
Yeah, that's actually nice from Vitality. They can at least have some level of long fire from Shadow as well as Jazza to give that support to their ridgeline players, and they hold one of the only two real positions left inside the compound, which is Tempo Storm, who have the building to the side. But 4 a.m., they really are uncertain about moving forward. There's not enough cover for them to work with. M19 are trying to shoot back up to them, but they may have no other choice. They may just have to run directly, and they are not inside the circle at the moment as enters. They're going to get a couple of their own tags down, but this battle, the blue, is just pushing God V so fast, so hard, and eventually he had to be knocked down.
Yeah, Batul and Shot with the AKM going to be ringing true onto God V. But around the map, these cliffs continue to be our battleground here as FaZe is trying to make their way off around, and Yak from Entis just hiding down at the very base of this hill, just trying to look up, seeing if he can spot any of the players from Method.
Yeah, this is the Anakin position. It's just like, well, don't try it. Don't try it. God V is finally brought down. So is CPT, so it's the circle starting to do its work as the rest of Vitality firing in to forever. There's just nowhere to move, so 4 a.m. totally eliminated, found themselves totally coverless, and no way to get down off the mountain. Vitality split has worked, an absolute treat.
Yeah, and all of these teams just trying to secure their areas before they opt to make a move into this next circle. No one, absolutely no team is inside of our 7th circle of game number 1. We have players playing the edge, but Tempo Storm needs to make their way off of that northern position. BenQ5 going to be finding a quick connection with the Car 98 on a Shadow from Vitality.
Keep it quiet, Diaz. Don't let people know you're there. Method was so close. Method were actually trying to gatekeep out FaZe, but they understand they have to move fast. Everyone is just converging into the southwest corner. Vitality, this is why the 2-2 works. They can just play this range game. Of course, Jazzer and Shadow have to move out of their cover.
AT being very careful. Going to be hopping down, but that...
Diaz! Finish him off. Get the points. Now look for the second. Jempty. Okay, here's the battle going on. And a Vanguard will be eliminated in 8th position, but now revealing their positions. Both Method and FaZe start to actually lock horns. Mixie pushing Rafi. He doesn't want him to heal up. Able to get the kill, so goodbye Method. And FaZe need a quick pickup and then move forward.
Absolutely. They have to worry about so much as they come in. Certainly M19 heard all of these shots up the hill, but now Vitality going to be engaging on the Tempo Storm. Maluk dropped almost immediately by OG and Entis, but they're going to be wiped out in return.
Yeah, this is, wow, no one's really in. I'm loving the position from Samty. He can just wait there in a small little crevice where no one's going to be looking and play for a great position while everyone else has to expose themselves very heavily. M19, it looks pretty. It's like 2 birds on a wire just perched up next to that loot crate. Cover from the back and wait for people to come from the front. But Mixie, okay, he's gone a little bit more ballsy. Grab the buggy, drive through. What's the worst that could happen? Okay, that's the worst that could happen. An M249 killed off down and actually stolen by Vitality.
Yeah, we know Batulin is such a strong player. M19 sort of playing passive in this game, playing towards their strong suit, but now is their time to capitalize on this. FaZe trying to just continue on with just Yempty, a lone solo player.
He knows, right? Like, he can run the edge of the circle and hope no one looks up towards him. M19 running down the hill will take the attention of Shadow, but there's only so long Jempty can stay up on the side before he's going to be noticed. M19 again pushing back Vitality. The circle is there, and the circle will pull everybody out of all forms of cover. Okay, that is the easiest shot onto Jempty, and goodbye FaZe in 5th.
Yep, that is probably Samty's one of his favorite shots right there. Able to find the connection on the FaZe, wiping them out. But Batulin again with the M249, going to be spraying those 5.56 rounds up the hill, up onto the duo of Vitality.
Wow, that actually didn't hurt him more than I thought it was going to. Just it bounced a little bit further down. Need to cook it harder. That one hurts. Using the first aid kit per second. Is that in the teeth? Oh. Yes, it is. Monkey with the arm. Gets the throwdown. M19. Batulin's is way too far away to actually be picked up. So Vitality, they're trying to capitalize on as much as they possibly can. That's a bit of a wafted grenade.
Elite player was just trying to hold onto that crate. The crate presenting him with a little bit of cover in this very wide open ravine, but his legs are going to be spotted out. Yannick going to be spraying down with the AKM, trying to find the connections.
God, how long until Vitality actually want to get more involved in this? They already managed to have a battle with Tempo Storm, knocking one down, so it's just one remaining walking player. Your boy Dre. Yeah, your boy Dre is the one who's trying to get the pickup onto BenQ5. Can't do it. Samty still crawling his way through. Shirts off for Samty.
Samty just in an extremely good position, specifically for a solo player. He's got the little bit of defilade while he crawls in and just lets all of this engagement, all of this chaotic mess happen around him, just further placing himself into the money.
He'll need to get a knock onto one of the Vitality players. This battle between Vitality and M19 is that point when your boy Dre as well as Samty can actually capitalize on it. There's 4 teams left. It's a 4-3-1-1, and it's up to these rogue players to do something. It won't happen. Both the rogue players get eliminated, and well, I guess we had to have a 3-on-4. Vitality have 7 kills. They'll be happy to chalk up 11 for the round.
Yes, certainly they will be, but
or
now,
10,
now it's between Vitality and M19. M19, do they know what is going to be pushing over the edge on top of them?
Vitality can hear it, but they don't know exactly how close it is. There's, well, finding the angle. M19 retreating back down the hill. The trade-offs are coming in, but it's in favor of Vitality. Just one player left. It's the M249 is powerful with a spray. Batulin's have already claimed one, but he won't claim more. That is going to be the round going the way of Vitality. They had the numbers, they had the split, this great 2-2 position, and everyone came into their killing zone.
They really did. I mean, Vitality capitalized on top of it. Really one of the more better executed 2-2 splits that we've seen played out here in the competitive scene, and you got to hand it to them because that was not easy for those guys to do.
Yeah, that was a terrific round. 10 kills in total and the first position. It was pretty split around it. You had the best one next to him was Team Liquid, who were able to claim 8 kills in total. So a good day at the office for both Liquid and Vitality. They're claiming a lot of points out of this one. M19, good to see them involved in fights. Yep. I heard a couple of the jokes between some of the talent here are just like, okay, yeah, M19, are they really going to get involved? They got 2 kills only for second position, but it's still second position.
They got involved when they needed to, and you know, push on as far as you can without getting an engagement. Don't lose too much on the way there, and then capitalize on it when you have the opportunity. Second place not going to be bad for M19, and certainly any of those naysayers players who say M19 is a passive team are going to be kind of biting their tongues.
Oh, I'm sensing some passion from you on that side. It's like no. Avenger has no idea what he's talking about when he mocks them.
Oh, no. He's a smart guy. He knows exactly what he's talking about.
Oh,
but
no,
I
let's
don't
not
think
give
we
him
can
that
take
much
it
credit.
away.
I don't want to give him anywhere near that much credit at all.
Yeah, no, certainly.